Good morning and welcome to this episode of the SLP Solution Morning Show. I am your host, Carrie Clark with SLPsolution.com, and today is Monday, August 20th, 2018, and we are talking about businesses that are making accommodations for those with hearing loss. So that is our topic for today. We are doing this a little bit early. I told you guys we'd be on at 9:30 and it's 8:30 Central Time. So we're going a little early. I have a dentist appointment to get my kid to today. So we're going to play around with some different timings and see how different times affect the viewership over on Facebook. So if you are listening to this on iTunes, we now have this up on iTunes, or if you're watching us on YouTube, welcome. Do know that we do this every morning live on Facebook. If you go to facebook.com/SLP Solution, you can like and follow our page to get notifications when we go live in the mornings with our morning show. So let's talk today about the idea of businesses incorporating people with hearing loss. So this is both from an employee standpoint to a customer standpoint. So the first article that I pulled up on this topic when I was doing some research was from healthyhearing.com, and they were talking about this business called Miracle Couriers. So apparently in the country of India, for those of you who are external out of the United States, if you're in India, welcome and thank you for listening. But in India, 6% of the Indian population is deaf, which equals about 63 million people, which is a large amount of people. And 66% of those who have hearing loss or who are deaf are unemployed. So there's a high unemployment rate for people who are deaf. So Miracle Couriers is a logistics or a shipping company that opened in India, and they provide quality employment for India's deaf population. So they're making a lot of different accommodations for those who are deaf and making sure that their company is very friendly to all of that, and a quality job, not just here's a low quality job that we're throwing out there for those that we can pay less. So that is something that's really exciting happening in India. Amazon actually took note of this company and decided to work exclusively with them in India. So they are the exclusive provider of Amazon's shipping in India, which I think is really great. So let's look at that from the American perspective. Most of our viewers, I believe, are American, but we do have some out of the country as well. If you are watching with us live, go ahead and type in what country you're from. I'd love to hear where everybody is from. So in America, the unemployment in the deaf population is 70%. So that's even higher than the rate of the Indian population. And employers are 34% less likely to hire individuals with disabilities. This is again from that article in healthyhearing.com if you want to look up the stats on that and where they got those numbers. But that's a huge problem. That's a big deal. So this article on healthyhearing.com did cite a couple of American companies that are also working to include more of the deaf community in this. So there's one that they said is called Pepperbox Coffee in Austin, Texas. Anyone listening or watching from Texas? And it is a deaf-owned company owned by a husband and wife, I believe, who are both deaf. And they hire deaf and hearing staff, a combination of both, but they're working this into their business practices. Also, the company Lyft, L-Y-F-T, if you're familiar with them, they are a ride-sharing program. That company recently partnered, I guess in 2017, partnered with the National Association of the Deaf, and they worked on making their Lyft app more accessible for drivers who are deaf. So the app now has additional visual notifications instead of just the auditory notifications when a driver has a ride. And there's also a message that gets sent out to the passengers that just informs them that the driver is deaf or hard of hearing, which is exciting because then that opens that dialogue and makes it so that it doesn't have to be weird when the passengers get in the car. And there's been really good feedback on both sides, not only from the deaf and hard of hearing population, but also from the hearing population that are using that service. So Lyft is a company that is doing really well to support those who are deaf or hard of hearing. And then there was another article, this was on a separate page, but there was another article about Starbucks doing this. So Starbucks has plans to open a new location that is within walking distance of the Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C., and the entire staff of the Starbucks is going to be fluent in American Sign Language. They also hired some individuals who were deaf to do the artwork for the restaurant. So there's going to be American Sign Language themed artwork throughout the restaurant, and everyone there, whether they be deaf or hard of hearing or completely full hearing, are going to be fluent in American Sign Language, which I just think is really cool. So we have all these companies that are starting to see the value of including this population that has not before been included, and I think it's a really good movement in our field, in our world. So I'm excited to support these businesses: Lyft, Starbucks, there's Miracle Couriers in India, and of course Pepperbox Coffee in Austin, Texas. If you know of other businesses and companies that are making inclusive efforts, not only in the hard of hearing and the deaf population, but in the special needs population as a whole, I'd love to hear about it. I know Target recently started carrying, or maybe they're about to carry, a line of clothes for children with sensory problems, which I'm super excited about because my son has sensory problems. So there's lots of movement in this direction, and I would love to talk about this more. So if you would like to continue this conversation, head on over to facebook.com/SLP Solution and go to our Facebook page there and go down to this video, which will be episode 6, and type in your comments. Do you know of businesses that are doing great things with this? Have you visited any of these businesses? Have you been a customer at any of these? We'd love to hear more stories about how this is occurring in our world and how we can expand these efforts. Also, if you have a story that you would like us to cover on the SLP Solution Morning Show, please send those over to slpmorning@gmail.com. Include a really great subject line, because I don't open all of those emails and I don't reply to them, but I am scanning through them each morning when I am looking for show topic ideas for the next day. So send those on over. I'd love to see your tips. All right, that's it for today. Please join us tomorrow on the SLP Solution Morning Show. I will put up a post in a couple different places to let you know what time we're going to be doing that one. Probably 9:30 Central, but we'll see. We may be switching our schedule up a little. And you can also get us on iTunes now. The show is uploaded to iTunes and ready to go. So you can listen to it on your morning commute or on your way home from work. You can watch us on YouTube. You can like and follow the page on Facebook. Lots of different ways for you to get to it. Also, don't forget to check out the slpsolution.com website. It's slpsolution.com, not the. And that will get you access to our professional memberships. We do have a free membership that we are about to add a whole bunch of new content to. So if you would like to check that out, go on over to slpsolution.com, click on memberships, and you'll see the free option. Go ahead and sign up for that, because we're going to go ahead and start piling in some great freebies and resources for SLPs that work with children, SLPs that work with adults in the medical field, and SLPs who are working in private practice or own their own private practice. So we'll have a lot of free goodies in there coming for you soon, plus a free ethics CEU course in October. And if you don't know already, ASHA is going to start requiring that everyone have ethics courses every reporting cycle. So that's coming up soon. So you might as well jump on the bandwagon with us during our free CEU in October. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the SLP Solution Morning Show. Bye for now.